computer, which is what we want, but I don't know what changed. Hello, folks. Welcome to Cluster API for Azure weekly office hours meeting. It is August 7th, 2025. We are a subproject of SIG Cluster Lifecycle, and therefore we stick to their rules of conduct, which boils down to basically let's make this a welcoming place for people to participate in. Try not to talk over each other. We don't really have too many issues in this area, but just so we are all on the same page here. If you feel like adding your name to the attendees list, please do so. Let's get right into it. We don't need to welcome any new members or attendees. And then the only thing that I put on the agenda was we had discussed among the maintainers, since this meeting has been no big whoop and we've canceled it a few times. I mean, some of this always happens in the summer, but it seems like it might be more advantageous for us to move the meeting to every 2 weeks. So I'm putting that out there. If anybody has any commentary, I guess we should probably post this in Slack and see if anyone squawks about it, and maybe give it a week or so before we decide one way or another. Seems like the fair thing to do. You guys have any opinion? Are you violently in agreement with this?
Violently might not be the word I would choose, but yeah, I'm definitely in agreement with making this biweekly.
Cool. I also am.
Me as well.
All right, so tentative initial agreement. Let's put the question on Slack and see what feedback we get. Try to decide before next week's. That too rude? I mean, ideally, we could figure this out and then skip. I don't know if we need to make that a goal. We'll just see what feedback we get, and then yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
maybe depending if we get some early feedback in Slack, we can kind of tentatively set some sort of lazy consensus in that thread.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then if no one really speaks up, then we'll just wait a few days and consider it decided. We can always revert to weekly if things heat up, which would be great. But, okay. And then the trade-off, obviously, we're all probably aware of this, but just to say so, the trade-off of us moving to biweekly is, we should probably we'll need to pay attention to Slack more because we do need to have some place to answer questions. That was already the case. I need to pay more attention to Slack too. So. Okay. Next, Alima, you want to talk about the owner's file?
Oh yeah, so to review PRs, I need to be in the owner's file, so I was just wondering if I could get added to that. I already asked Jack and he asked me for a list of all my all my contributions. Is it only Jack that can do it, or is it just like anyone in the owner's file that can add me?
Um, well, I mean, strictly speaking, anyone could make a PR to change the owner's file, even if you're not in the project.
Oh,
Uh, effectively, the maintainers want to promote other people to maintainer, and um, you're in the Kubernetes org, right? Or not?
mhm.
Yeah. So the first thing is to become a reviewer, and there's some loose criteria for that. And I think you're not officially a reviewer yet, right? Or are you?
No, I'm not.
But I'm
Um,
pretty sure you qualify for that. We should check. And
okay.
then the next level is maintainer, which is what we're all doing that allows you to, change settings and merge PRs and all that. And the bar for that is actually somewhat high if we're going to follow the letter of the law. So that's probably what Jack was asking for is, have you, what is it? It's like contributed consistently to the project for 3 months. You definitely have. Um, I think there's some arbitrary number of PRs or issues you're supposed to have created or reviewed. I should go look. There's basically a Kubernetes contributor guide. So,
Oh,
um,
right. I'm like looking for it right now.
yeah, I don't have it open, but
Let's see.
And also, Brian Cox is in basically the same situation. I talked to him a little while ago, and he still is interested. So I also need to review those criteria and see if he wants to do
Okay.
that. But
Well, it's no big. I just sometimes when you guys send out something looking for a review, I'll look at it because, just like out of habit, and then I'll realize like, oh, I can't even do anything about this. But
well, you can LGTM stuff. Anyone who's in the Kubernetes,
just like
or
can't prove.
yeah, yeah. You can
Okay.
LGTM anything in Kubernetes once you're in the org. Um, you
But does
just
that
can't
do
do
anything?
slash approve. It adds the LGTM tag, and it shows the maintainers that you've reviewed it, that you put some thought into it and all that. So it's
Okay.
basically always helpful, um, even if it's not your domain, I think, to review a PR or do LGTM. You just can't necessarily approve it.
Mhm. Oh, thank you, John. I look at that.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So if we look at this real quick, so there's reviewer, general requirements or history of review and authorship in a sub project. I'm pretty sure you've cleared that bar a while ago, so we should probably make that PR. And then approver is highly experienced actor, reviewer, and contributor. I think you probably there as well, but there's some specific criteria.
Mm.
Reviewer 3 months. Okay, reviewer is 3 months. Primary reviewer for at least 5 PRs. Reviewed or merged at least 20 PRs. I mean, you can't technically merge something if you're not yet a reviewer, but or maybe they mean you created the PR. Knowledgeable about the code base, sponsored by us, approvers. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure uh, you and Brian Cox and probably some other people qualify for this. And then here's what you're kind of expected to do. And then approver is 3 months, primary. It's just ups the
Wait, so
numbers.
if they're saying review emerge at least 20 substantial PRs, like, is that considered me looking at a PR and giving the LGTM?
Or or not LGTM is actually usually a more meaningful
Okay.
review if you're like, there's something wrong with this and all that. But yeah, just I
Oh,
think the
yeah, yeah.
idea is that you are the primary or substantial reviewer on this number of PRs. It doesn't mean that you approve them necessarily and that they
Okay.
merged, in my opinion.
Okay, okay. So, okay, okay. Because I think like because I wasn't in the I went about this the wrong way. Because I wasn't in the file, I started not looking at PRs because I was like, oh, since I can't even approve, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
So I kind of have it off balance where I have like a lot of my own PRs, but I don't have a lot of like PRs reviewed. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'll just like start looking at PRs more, is all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that'd probably be the strategic thing to do. I feel like, realistically, you're very close, if not clear of all these requirements, but in practical terms, to submit the PR, it's good to have a list of, oh, I
Mhm.
reviewed all these PRs and or created these. I don't know what the numbers are. You're probably close to this or more.
Well, I have like in terms of like the ones that I'm like the author to or the ones that I've actually worked on, I have like 15. But then in terms of reviewing any, I don't have I have like maybe like five. So
Well,
I
if you
just
can,
like have it the wrong way.
well, if you can combine the 15 and the five, then that
Oh, you
technically
think like
gets you,
that you think that counts as like
yeah, reviewed or merged. I think that counts. I think
okay, okay.
reviewing
Like
counts
double
for
counting.
more
Okay.
than creating PRs overall, actually, in the long term. But
Okay.
yeah. And well, I don't, just speaking for myself, I'm not super strict about these numbers. Um,
Mhm.
you've been here for much more than 3 months as well, so that like, so this is like a plus plus qualification. And so even if this ends up being like 18 or something, I don't think that's a big deal.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
but yeah, we would have made for example, we would have made Brian Cox a reviewer by now, except I went and checked these numbers back in like February last time we talked about it, and he only had like three. To my surprise, he only had like 3 and 10 or something. So we said we'd wait a little longer. But I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure that he's also cleared this bar, so I'll re I'll talk to him again.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. All right. Anything else we want to talk about? Should we go through issues and milestones, or you think we're good for now? I guess.
Maybe a quick spot check since the 121 release is coming up. Just see if there's anything that needs special attention there. Might be
Yeah.
helpful.
Oops. I don't want to look at that necessarily. What am I looking for? Could look at the milestone. Go auto rest. I'm pretty sure nothing's happening here, unfortunately. Um, boy, these two in progress. I don't think I'm gonna have time to pull them off. Although I do want to try and look at this today or tomorrow. I'll let you know if I do, John, because I know you want to pair on that a little. The CAPI 111 thing. The ARO stuff seems like it should merge, but I know Jack uh, wanted to weigh in on that. So maybe I'll nudge him because I don't like that it's been hanging out so long. And I don't really know what's up with Calico. I'm not even sure we want to do this at this point. So, and when do we say the release is? August 11th. Oh, wow. Okay, next week. Well, I don't think any of these things is going to change before the release, but I could be surprised.
Yeah,
But
I can't think of anything in that list that like we definitely need for the release.
right. I mean, some of these things would be really great and are long overdue, but I also don't see us being able to pull it off in the next couple of days. So I think probably we're close to what we're going to deliver in the release. And then in terms of pull requests, I don't think there's anything except the couple things that were already in the milestone. I don't think there's anything here we're specifically waiting for, are we? So mumble mumble, I think we're roughly in a state where we could release, assuming CI is okay. So unless you guys know of an issue or a PR that's particularly urgent we're forgetting about, I guess we'll just stick with our current priorities.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else that I'm waiting for the release.
Okay, good. This makes me want to finish some of these things because they've been hanging out so long. But given that we're want to release next week, that's probably actually counterproductive at this point. So I won't change my current trajectory. Cool. I think that covers everything. Anything else you guys want to discuss? Sounds like a no. All right. We will maybe see you next week. I think probably we will do this next week because even if we don't get some feedback, it might be too abrupt to just switch to biweekly after this. I guess we'll wait to see what feedback we get, but I think maybe that would be the polite thing to do is to plan on having this meeting next week, and assuming we didn't get any contrary feedback, then we'll start biweekly after that. All right. Okay. Talk to you guys soon.
Okay.
Have a good
Thanks,
one.
Matt.
Both.
Bet.